Following a heated exchange with her closest male companion, she drew me to the side and declared, "You must say sorry to him, or it's over between us." I simply gazed at her. Then she continued, "He came into my life long before you did, and he means more to me than you ever will." I remained silent. Just climbed into my truck and drove off. 3 days passed, and she appeared outside my building, tears streaming down her face, begging for mercy. I'm no storyteller, so forgive any roughness. Never imagined I'd share this online, but the latest developments have me doubting everything, and I could use some neutral insights. For background, I'm 43M, a building contractor, separated from my wife 6 years back, with one teen daughter staying with her mother. I've been seeing Allison, 39F, for a little more than a year. We crossed paths while I was updating the cafe she runs. Typical scenario, she'd hand me a cup of joe, we'd talk during my downtime. In time, I invited her out. We clicked right away, shared laughs, both love the outdoors, both once wed with no rush to tie the knot again soon. It's felt solid, easygoing yet exciting, or so I believed. Now comes Kevin, 41M, Allison's top buddy from university days. She says they tried dating as sophomores, chose friendship instead, and have stayed tight ever since. He stood as her honor attendant at the wedding, supported her during the split. He's pretty much a constant in her world. I've encountered Kevin numerous occasions this past year, mostly in group hangouts, board game evenings, backyard cooks, celebrations. He's been, okay, not overly warm to me, but not outright rude, just observant, as if sizing up if I measure up for Allison. I've tried building a connection, but he maintains a courteous gap. This is when it all derailed. Last weekend, Allison threw a casual supper at her house. Nothing elaborate, just some pals for grilled meats. I got there early to assist with prep. Kevin was already present, posted up in her kitchen like it was his, stirring cocktails and offering tips on the meal. No issue, I thought. They're tight. It's expected. The night flowed nicely. Tasty eats, lively chats. Post-meal, everyone shifted to the patio. Politics surfaced somehow. Bad idea every time. Kevin and I discovered we held opposing views. Nothing radical, simply differing angles. Talk remained polite, but the divide was obvious. I wasn't pushing, just sharing my thoughts when prompted. Yet with every idea I voiced, Kevin glanced at Allison as if waiting for her to step in and set me straight. Since she stayed quiet, his replies grew cutting, more belittling. At last, after a specially patronizing remark, I stated, "Listen, buddy, we can differ without the sarcasm. We're grown-ups." You'd swear I'd struck him. His cheeks flushed and he faced Allison. "Will you allow him to address me that way?" Before she responded, I added, "I'm speaking directly to you, not through her, and I'm merely requesting mutual courtesy." Kevin rose, glass in grip. "You haven't a clue what you're on about." "Never did. Allison gets it. She's just too kind to admit it." I turned to Allison, anticipating she'd calm things or stay neutral at minimum. Instead, she fixed on Kevin with an anxious look, like he might explode. "Kevin, he wasn't intending harm." Her tone soothing. "I sure was," I shot back. I said precisely what I meant. We can hold different opinions without rudeness. The patio went quiet. Remaining friends shifted awkwardly. Kevin placed his glass down with deliberate slowness. "Guess I'll take off." "Ring me soon, Allie." He strode inside and exited, banging the door shut. Allison jumped up and trailed him indoors. Muffled voices carried, but details escaped me. Upon return, she appeared rattled. "What was all that?" I inquired as she reclaimed her seat. Later, she whispered, then forced a grin for the others. "The evening dragged tensely. Once guests departed, I began tidying." That's when Allison cornered me in the kitchen, arms folded. "You have to say sorry to Kevin," she announced, straight out. I almost let the dishes slip. "Pardon me, you humiliated him before everybody. Apologize." I lowered the stack gently. "Allison, he came off smug and rude. If apologies are due, start with him." She disagreed with a head shake. "You fail to grasp. Kevin struggles with confrontation. He senses assault. And I sense belittled," I replied. "Ever cross your mind your pal might resent your partner?" "That's untrue," she claimed, gaze averting. "He's merely safeguarding." "Safeguarding? I'm no danger to you. And regardless, you're an adult capable of her choices." She fidgeted. "Simple fix. Apologize to him, or we're through." I gawked, scarcely trusting my ears. An ultimatum? Over a spat with your buddy? Then she unleashed the blow that shifted it all. He predates you, and he's priority over you. The phrase lingered heavily. It struck like a fist to the chest. Not the content, but her casual delivery, as if evident, as if I ought to have accepted my runner-up status from the start. I held my temper, no shouts, no debate. Just studied her briefly, digesting my true rank in her world. Then snatched my keys from the counter, headed to my vehicle, and left. She shouted behind, but I pressed on. Homeward, my phone lit with her messages. Where are you? We must discuss. You're blowing this up. Return so we can handle it maturely. I powered off and slept. Surprisingly deep for a guy whose romance just cratered. Morning brought missed calls galore and further notes. I scanned but stayed silent, headed to the job, zeroed in on a lavatory overhaul demanding focus. Evening, TV, pizza delivery, routine persists. By day 3, calls tapered but pleas intensified. No ghosting from malice. Just required space to reflect, to unpack the incident and its implications. That night, a rap at the door. Peephole revealed Allison, eyes swollen, gripping her bag tightly. I debated silence, but dodging felt weak, and weakness isn't me. I opened but blocked the entry. May I enter? Her voice fragile. Not wise. Please, explanations needed. I paused, then moved aside. She entered, settled on the sofa. The spot for movie marathons, her dozing on me, our intimate Sundays. Now she seemed foreign. Regrets, she started. My words were awful, unintended. No, intended, I said calmly. That's the sting. You believed them. Tears fell softly, smudging cosmetics. He's known forever like kin. Can't forfeit him, I get that. What escapes me is why retaining him demands ditching me. Why not both? Possible, she urged. I was rattled. You're both key guys in my world. I took the opposite chair, not beside her, keeping space. Wrong. You clarified my spot. That's fine, Allison. Prioritize as you wish, but I do too. Can't partner with someone viewing me as expendable. You're irreplaceable, she wept. I adore you. Truly? Or adore my role when Kevin nods approval? The instant I upset that, you discarded me. No rebuttal. Has he ever warmed to me, I probed? Or only since we deepened? She stared at her lap. He fears you'll wound me like the ex. So he's self-appointed protector? And you've permitted. Not exactly, she weakly objected. Really? Truth time, Allison. Has he approved any of your partners? Quiet confirmed. I merit more, I concluded. You do too. Genuine friendship wouldn't ransom you. A true pal would seek your joy, even if attention splits. Her sobs deepened. She confessed a massive clash with Kevin post my exit, realizations about their bond nagging her unconsciously for ages, craving a fresh start with me. A piece of me yearned to embrace, declare we'd resolve it. But the dominant voice, recalling her icy priority declaration, stood resolute. Space is best, I stated. I must determine if second place suits me in love. You must decide readiness for partnership sounds constant third-party veto. She departed hesitantly, securing my vow to consider reconciliation. I vowed thought. And have a 5 days on. Allison messages daily, no push, just touch points. Kevin reportedly livid at her siding with me, though she hasn't fully. Merely challenging their setup sparked his crisis. Her sibling phoned yesterday, noting years of warnings to Allison on Kevin's unhealthy hold. He craved no romance, but tolerated no rivals. This cycle replayed with each suitor since uni. Unsure my path. Part loves her, believes repair possible. Another knows entrenched habits resist change. 2 decades normalizing this odd tie. Currently, day by day, gaining perspective solo, recalling solitude beats backup status. The weight of her predicament descended fully. Her alpha had faltered. She had forfeited the dominant duo fantasy, and now she faced eviction. Her scheme hadn't failed. It had rebounded spectacularly. It has been 90 days since my elevation, and the concluding elements of this saga have settled. The tale of Chad and Tina within our firm has concluded. Following discovery of the sabotage proof, I refrained from direct confrontation with Chad or Tina. That would have been chaotic and unbecoming. Instead, I behaved as the leader they claimed I lacked. I assembled the proof. Security records displaying the IP, the exact timestamp of the illicit edit, the pristine code versus the tampered version, and a concise, objective outline of the impending harm. Then I arranged a session with Marcus and the HR chief. I presented the facts, coolly and impartially. I avoided personal framing. I positioned it as a grave, intentional violation of security and ethics. I stated, a senior staff member deliberately attempted to derail a vital initiative. This poses a business hazard. The corporate response was standard for evident internal sabotage. HR initiated a thorough probe instantly. With irrefutable digital trails, resolution was swift. Chad was summoned to HR and legal. He initially refuted, but confronted with logs pinning the act to his terminal during hours when confirmed his PR. First, no suspicion of Alice and Kevin intimacy. Control, not carnal. Second, claims I ditched her mid-party. Departed post-guests after her priority reveal. No stranding or spectacle. Third, missed red flags. Retrospect, yes. Kevin messaged incessantly even during our time. Instant replies from her. Opinions on dining spots to my suitability. Plus crashing our retreat, claiming proximity despite 2-hour drive. Fourth, on leniency, perhaps, but endured one union sans priority. Therapy years to reclaim value. No repeat. Fifth, clarification, no cohabitation. Allison's separate flat crosstown, hence doorstep appearance over home presence. Considered shared space, eventually not yet. Update 10 days on, Allison and I caffeinated yesterday. Neutral spot, unfamiliar downtown cafe. She seemed worn but resolute. She led, sharing deep reflections on Kevin ties. Post-clash, patterns emerged, subtle choice control, manufactured emergencies during our focus, training her to elevate his emotions overall, hers included. Showed post-fight texts. Manipulative, shame-laden on discarding 20 years for some builder over blood. The weight of her predicament descended fully. Her alpha had faltered. She had forfeited the dominant duo fantasy, and now she faced eviction. Her scheme hadn't failed. It had rebounded spectacularly. It has been 90 days since my elevation, and the concluding elements of this saga have settled. The tale of Chad and Tina within our firm has concluded. Following discovery of the sabotage proof, I refrained from direct confrontation with Chad or Tina. That would have been chaotic and unbecoming. Instead, I behaved as the leader they claimed I lacked. I assembled the proof, security records displaying the IP, the exact timestamp of the illicit edit, the pristine code versus the tampered version, and a concise, objective outline of the impending harm. Then I arranged a session with Marcus and the HR chief. I presented the facts, coolly and impartially. I avoided personal framing. I positioned it as a grave, intentional violation of security and ethics. I stated, a senior staff member deliberately attempted to derail a vital initiative. This poses a business hazard. The corporate response was standard for evident internal sabotage. HR initiated a thorough probe instantly. With irrefutable digital trails, resolution was swift. Chad was summoned to HR and legal. He initially refuted, but confronted with logs pinning the act to his terminal during hours when confirmed his chilling read. Not friendship. Emotional captivity. Key admission. Kevin despised every beau, derailed multiples, leaked private history to ex-spouse for discord. She perpetually pardoned, preserved, placed him atop. No more of that life, she said. Therapy lined up. First session soon. Praised her insight into toxicity, but self-protection vital. Consented slow pace, light outings, zero expectations, as she unpacks with expert aid. Kevin ramped up predictably. Emotional cutoff failed, so workplace intrusions, floral gestures, faux ideal pal for her bliss. Textbook coercion. Allison held lines creditably. Demanded distance, friendship overhaul if survival. Cautious hope, but vigilant. Many urged flight, valid view. Yet her diligence escaping dysfunction matters. More updates ahead. Update 1 month on. Developments twisted unexpectedly. Allison steady in counseling, firm with Kevin, who cycled affection bursts and fury. Abuser playbook. Breaking point. Last week, intoxicated arrival at her door, pounding entry, accusing my influence. She dialed authorities. Escort out, restraint order filed next morn. Hurtful yet illuminating, like assembling the full image after scattered fragments. Relinking with sidelined friends under Kevin's dominance. His jealousy gradually secluded her. Us, resuming dates, unhurried. Joined one session for support guidance on intrusion. Counselor likened codependency escape to cult exit. Demands duration, tolerance. Kevin pivots to smear among shared circle minimal traction. Witnesses to party and beyond see reality. Some pals apologized for past silence. Still, select contacts buy his narrative. Tough for Allison, yet enlightening on loyalties. Kevin's employer, separate firms fortunately, involved post-persistent work contacts. Her HR logged enforced blocks, notified security on order. Allison's resilience awes me. Tackling ingrained toxins demands grit, especially chronic. Relationship longevity aside, lessons in boundaries, self-value priceless. To peace at any cost advocates. Dispute transcended politics or TIFF. Core imbalance, our bond versus her toxic Kevin link. Departure alone sometimes shatters enchantment. Final update, 6 months on. Allison and I endure, stronger than before. Therapy ongoing, tackling broader habits past Kevin. Order lapsed, Kevin mostly absent. History revision campaign to pals, portraying betrayed original. Sparse believers, party observers and Qley clarify. Allison's repeated sorries for that evening. Actions trump, hers prove dedication to equitable boundary-respecting partnership. Cohabitation next month. Timely now, wouldn't have pre-crisis. Conflicts arise, but resolved as peers, no meddling. To history unbeatable commenter, accurate but irrelevant. About discerning longevity doesn't equate health, merely comfort. Longest ties can wound deepest. Appreciation to advisors through turmoil. Asserting value is prime self-guard, and occasionally inspires others likewise.